Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true.
Marriage for him is like making mashed potatoes.
Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkling guiding through the deep, the light,
Let me ask you
the old, the new. Intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view. Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew.
Hey, what's up? Just want to jump on for a few minutes and introduce you, some of you, to our 24/7 AI assistant by the name of Sister Clark. Oh.
We're stirring up the
Turn up with you.
intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkling guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new. Intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view.
All right, that's enough of that. What's up? What it do? Time for another quick episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. And I wanted to come on for a little while and talk to, well, really, I'm just trying to really do a live recording, but do a recording. But if some people jump on while I'm recording, then it's all good. I'll just have that as a part of it. But let me share this with a few people and share it in a group. And then I'll get on with my demonstration here in just a moment. But let me share this. Can I put it on? Nope. Can't do it that way. So I got to do it this way. Copy link. Go to my profile page. If you all listen, if you all have not followed my group with my page, Sister Clark, the AI church receptionist, will you please do that for me? I need to get to 100 people so I can go live in that group. And then I won't have to go live on this page with anything related to Sister Clark. But I'm proud of her, for real. For real. Tap in for a live demonstration. Intellectual stew. I want to hear my music some more. Hold on. I'm about to get started. I'm just sharing this with a couple of groups so I can get some people tapped in so I can do this live demonstration. But give me just a minute and I promise I'm getting ready to start.
Intellectual stew.
And if you have any questions about Sister Clark, please put those in the chat and I'll address those questions. Real raw and relevant to you. Oh, shit, it didn't do it the way I wanted to do it. The day. All right, you're getting there. I'm almost there. All right, I'm ready now. All right, I'm ready now. So, yeah, like I said, this is really kind of meant to be more so of a live recording. I could have did this, but and if anybody does jump on, that'll be gravy because I can get live demonstrations or I can answer questions or what not. But let's talk for a minute. Last September, I was working at a specific dealership here in the Metro Atlanta area, and those who know me, I've been in the car business in and around for about 30 years. I've never really liked it. I mean, I like it, but I don't. I like the money. I like meeting people, but I don't like time sometimes. But anyway, I've been doing it. It's been a means to an end. But I had been doing freelance work for probably 5, 6, 7 years, working for myself. And it made a good living. But decided to go back into a dealership. And I went into this dealership and sometimes I'm not the most corrigible person, uh, especially when I don't think I'm being led properly or if I'm being blamed for something that's not my fault. And a couple of those instances came up. And I'm from the old school, you kind of get it where you gave it. So if you try me in public, then you're probably going to get a public response. And so had a few of those. And eventually we parted company. My watered down Dr. Pepper. So we parted company, and I was cool with it. I really needed about another month to get where I wanted to get to. But anyway, we parted company. And I came home, and one day I was online, and my coach, Derek Harper, shout out to Coach Derek Harper. But Coach was online showing us, talking about AI and how to build AI agents and the capability of those AI agents. And he was offering a class and talking about how you can create your own business and all these things. I wanted to join, and I really didn't have the money, but I wanted to be a part of it. And he had 2 classes. There was a $500 class, and there was the VIP class. At the time, was like $2,000. But the $2,000 class gave you access to classes, anything that he would do going forward. It would grandfather you in. So that's what I wanted, and I ain't have it, but I was trying to figure out how to get it. And I ain't gonna say how I got it, but I got it. I figured it out. And I got it. And started being a part of this class and started learning about AI. And to be honest with you, I even gained the name non-techie because I'm not the most technical person. I can use my phone. I love being able to do documents and all those things on my phone, but I'm not the most technical, especially when it comes to understanding websites and code and all those things. But I started following and being a part of these classes. And you can't be a part of a class, some of these classes would be 3-4 hours, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6-8 hours a week, plus your practice time. You're spending 10-12 hours a week building and learning. And first of all, I was copying. I was just copying what he did. He told me, give us a homework assignment. I copied what he did, copied. And eventually I started learning. And so not only was he teaching us technique, but he was also teaching us how to make it practical, how to make it applicable, find a business, find a niche, find a pain point, and then whatever that pain point is, come up with a solution for it, and then build around that solution. That's what he taught us. Find the pain point, and once you find the pain point, come up with the solution, and then build on that solution. So that's what I did. I found the pain point and I built on that solution. I came up with a concept that I call, and let me say this before I say that. I had a couple of different things come my way mentally, a couple of different things that made me think, okay, this might be good. And they were mostly for me, it wasn't and that's okay. But then one day I stood straight up in the bed like, wow, I got it. And I kept pecking at it, kept playing with it. And then I finally sat down and started understanding a little bit more, started following listen to some of the group conversations in the group that we're in called AI Junkies. But I didn't learn as fast as they did, but I learned my way. and I started building. And so I came up with this concept called Sister Clark. Now, with coming up with the name Clark, I didn't understand why. I don't know what made me say Sister Clark. I didn't know at first. I had no clue. But attachment styles and things that are buried and planted in your childhood have a way of growing or revealing themselves at a later point in life, right? I remember my grandmother. My grandmother had a little house in Little Rock, Arkansas. Excuse me, in Sherrill, Arkansas. Sherrill, Arkansas. Little old shotgun country house with a tin roof. You know, grandmama had a Coke machine on the front porch. But across the street was an old white church, Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. I got baptized out of that church, not at that church, because that church didn't have a pool at the time. So we had to go to Wabaseka to another church for me to be baptized. But anyway, I grew up in that church. But growing up in that church, there was an old man by the name of Deacon Clark Moore. Deacon Clark Moore had to have had the deepest pockets of anyone, because his pockets literally represent a cistern, a never-ending supply of peppermints. So every Sunday morning we would go to church. The first person we would look for would always be Deacon Clark Moore, because Deacon Clark Moore was, he gave pepper. But when I thought about that later in life, something about Deacon Clark Moore that kind of made us want to come to church or look forward to coming to church. So that was the name I came up when I came up with the concept of Sister Clark. Now, what is Sister Clark? Sister Clark is an AI-powered virtual receptionist built specifically for churches. This is what she does. She answers inbound calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She greets callers with your church name. She answers their questions, captures visitors' information, logs prayer requests, and routes messages to the right ministry leader. And I named her in honor of Deacon Clark Moore, who made every visitor feel like they belonged. And more than just a secretary, more than just a virtual assistant, Sister Clark, to me, Sister Clark is a church growth tool. She's not just an answering machine. Because if we limit it to just being an answer machine, then you can just get an answer machine. That's not what she was built to be. She was built to be a 24/7 ministry assistant that is also built to be a church growth tool. So let me go ahead and introduce you to it. Let me move this microphone around a little bit so I can get to my laptop. Now, here she is. There she is. That's her. Never miss church call again. If you want to go to this website, let me put it up. It's Sister Clark. Do I have a banner for sisterclark.com? Yep. sisterclark.com. Right? So if you go to this page, you can see how it works, see some of the features, see some of the frequently asked questions, all of those things. But I want to show you is the ministry hub. Every church that signs up gets this ministry hub. Now, it's already some information in here. I didn't clear it out. I normally would clear it out before a call. I didn't this time, but I just want to show you what you would receive. Okay. This is it. So you log in. I'm already logged in. What you first thing you see when you log in is an overview. This is the command center. Whoever your designated person is at your church, they would have access to this command center here. Okay. And the command center shows total calls, shows prayer requests, how many messages you have, and whichever plan you're on, there would be available minutes, and then it would show how many minutes you already use, so you can keep up with your minutes. So if you know you're about to run out of minutes and you need to purchase some more minutes, or if you need to look at possibly going to a higher plan, you can do that here. Okay. Now, as you come down the tab here, that's the overview. This is the church info. Here, you put in all of the information about your church. I put in the name of the church I started back in 2004, Bridging the Gap Ministries, pastor's name, phone number, forwarding number if I'm going to be forwarding a number, if you have a plan that does that, address, city, state, all that kind of stuff. And if you have a logo, you can put your logo URL there. Here are your service times. Now, suppose I want to add a service time. You can manage your weekly schedule. Sundays, 10:30. Like what I got worship service, BTU, musicians rehearsal, choir rehearsal, Bible study. Let's put women's ministry on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Oops. 7 o'clock. And we're going to call it women's ministry. I can spell, I promise I can. All right, so if I add that, you see it added at the bottom. Women's ministry 7. Now, when I get to I'll show you later, but here's some frequently asked questions. I don't have any in there now, but you can put as many FAQs as you want in there. Now, this is where it gets good. This is where you can see all of the call activity that has come in. If anybody has called in, you'll see all the phone numbers there. So you'll have a ledger. So you can call people back, prospect, invite them to the church, put them on automations, whatever you want to do, but you can communicate with them from there. Now, she is trained to listen to certain language. So if they say, can you put me on the prayer request or the prayer list? She's going to say, yes. We're definitely going to be praying for you. What's your phone number? And if you would like to tell us what your prayer request is, you can tell us that, and we'll make sure that our prayer team gets back with you. So if you got the ministry tool, even if you're a larger church and your part of your concern is prayer. Now, the Bible says certain things only come forth by prayer and by fasting. So if you're a praying church and prayer is one of the major keys, it doesn't have to be your main tool, but it can be a support tool. And if it doesn't do anything else, it can log prayer requests all week long and give you an opportunity. Now, look, when the people, now this is the prayer part of the dashboard. If you go over here to the side, you see it shows I put some crazy stuff in there. I said he had a wart on his nose or something, but it shows you it's a new prayer request. You can follow up with them, all that kind of stuff. So I put new, I can say new, in progress, or resolved, but I'll know exactly where I am as far as keeping up with this person. As far as the follow-up, if I hit follow-up, now it's marked to being in progress. So I can keep up with this all the way through. Now, suppose they say that they are a first-time visitor or they're new in the community. Well, she would log their name and put them under the visitor portion. She would log and put them under the visitor portion. And then it would log their name, their contact information, the date and time they called, and what the status is. It leaves them in a pending state until you send a follow-up. So imagine your church. You're trying to become a beacon in the community. You're trying to really fulfill the Great Commission, do evangelism. If their name is logged here, you want to make sure they don't fall through the cracks. You hit send follow-up. Hi, James Johnson. Thank you for reaching out, Bridging the Gap Ministries. We'd love to connect with you. Boom. You send them a text that fast. And now you've opened up the line of communication. Do you realize how much faster people will respond when they know that you care? They don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And if you've thought enough to even send an automated email, that makes sense. And even under the prayer request portion, these prayer requests, I have a plan that's set up where if you decide you want us to email you every day and let you know when you have new messages or new prayer requests, or you can just check them every day at 6 o'clock. Or if you have one of the upper plans, it's going to send you an automated report every day at 6 a.m. to let you know the names of the people that were on the prayer list, what their prayer request was, and how to reach out to them. That's a ministry tool. This all parts comes as a part of those packages. All right. Now, suppose they just want to leave a message for someone on the deacon board or another key stakeholder in the church. She'll take the message right here, and it stays new until you say that you read it. And if you want to export it, you can into a CSV. Now, this is the most important part of it. This is the knowledge base. The knowledge base provides the brains for Sister Clark. Right now, she has all the church info. She knows all the service times. If I upload announcements, you can upload a bulletin, PDF, any type of file. She'll have that information. You upload something stating what all the ministries are. She'll have that information. Your frequently asked questions, all here. And all you have to do is come here, press upload, and you can upload whatever it is that you want to upload to her knowledge base. And then once you upload it, hit this button right here, sync to agent. And when you press sync to agent, knowledge base has pushed all that information to Sister Clark. So whatever you change, if you upload the church's history, I don't think anybody want to do it, but if you upload the church's bylaws, if you upload the policies and procedures of the church, if you upload anything, any document, she's going to know that information as soon as you upload it and you press sync agent. All right. Now, next tab is the usage tab. All that is simply what it says. It's the usage tab. It shows how much you have, how many minutes you've used, and how many minutes you have remaining. And if it's not quite the end of the month and you've used up all your minutes and you might need to purchase a different minutes plan, that's an option as well. Okay. In the setting stage, you can set up call forwarding, all those kind of things. I don't want to show you that number yet. Now, this is real simple. It's real simple. The way this works is if you go to sisterclark.com, if you sign up, now there are 3 plans. Let me show you those, in fact. All right, let me show you the plans. Let me show you what you get for those plans. All right. Go to pricing. Now, these are 3 plans. You got Sister Clark Essential for $197. She's church frequently asked question support, visitor intake, prayer request capture, basic call routing. Then we got Sister Clark Enterprise, which is our most popular plan. It's $297 a month. There is a $300 setup deposit, but it does a little bit more. It has basic call routing, but it has custom church training, automations, and follow-up sequences, as well as monthly reporting. And then this is the one for growing churches. This is the Sister Clark Executive. You might have a little bit larger church, but you get 1,000 minutes with that plan. You get a website widget to put on your website. You get priority support. You also get weekly pastor intelligence report and event registration capture. So we got a little bit more for that plan. Now, do y'all want to see? I should have did this already, but do y'all want to see her at work? Y'all want to see her at work? All right, I'm gonna show you her at work, but if I show it to you, I gotta show you something else first. Hold on. It was a time I couldn't do this, y'all. I was not technical enough to keep up with this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go back over here, Sister Clark. I want to go back in a minute, so because I want to show you something before I do this. All right, now look, you see it's 10 total calls, 5 prayer requests, and 2 messages. You see it, right? 10 total calls, 5 prayer requests, and 2 messages. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute. And I'm gonna make a phone call. Let y'all hear her live and in action. Intellectual stew. All right, here we go. We'll put her on speakerphone.
Thank you for calling Test Church. My name is Sister Clark. How may I help you?
Hey, Sister Clark. This is James. Hold on. I messed up. Hold on one second. Hold on. I forgot to change something. Hold on. I still have the phone number transferred. and I got to change it back. Hold on. Hold on. That's when you troubleshoot in real time. That's when I'm troubleshooting in real time. Mm-mm. In fact, let me turn my music on while I fix this. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me hear my music in my ear.
Intellectual stew. Oh, we're cooking something true. Intellectual stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light, the old, the new intellectual stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view. Intellectual stew.
Oh, you know, I ain't heard my rap song in a while. Where my rap song is? Where my rap song? Here it is.
Yeah. What's up? What it do? Time for another episode. Let's ride now. Slide through the city with the mindset clean. James on the mic, yeah, he cooking that dream. Intellectual stew, got the wisdom on deck. Feeding minds daily, got him watching what's next. From the couch to the climb, yeah, the journey got weight. Turn pain into purpose, now we moving in faith. West Coast breeze, but the message stay deep. Plant seeds in the soul, now the whole world reap. Real talk, no gimmicks, just truth in the booth. Break chains off the mind, let it loose, let it loose. From the block to the pulpit, yeah, the vision aligned. Got a word for the people, transformation in time. We're stewing up knowledge, let it simmer real slow. West Coast vibe with a spiritual flow. From the struggle to the strategy, now you know the name. James got the heat, put respect on the game. We rise, we grow, let the whole world see. Turn the thought to a move, now you walking free. It's the intellectual stew, yeah, we changing the view. If you ready for better, this is made for you. Cruising down purpose lane, top down, no fear. Every word hit different when the vision stay clear. Mental health talk, yeah, we breaking the code. Heavy hearts get light when the truth get told. Single mile strong kings, yeah, we all in the mix. Building minds up strong, that's a generation to fix. Not just talk, we walk, every lesson apply. From the pain in the past to the power inside. Now the stew stay hot, got the culture on flame. Every episode dropping, we igniting the game. If you stuck, get up, yeah, the path look better. Mind, body, soul, low, put it all together. We stewing up knowledge, let it simmer real slow. West Coast vibe with a spiritual flow. From the struggle to the strategy, now you know the name. James got the heat, put respect on the game. We rise, we grow, let the whole world see. Had a thought to a move, now you walking free. It's the intellectual stew, yeah, we changing the view. If you're ready for better, this is made for you. The world is changing. Why do you remain the same? up, what it do? Time for another episode.
Completed as dial. Please.
Slide through the city with the mindset clean. James on the mic, yeah, he cooking that dream. Intellectual stew, got the wisdom on deck. Feeding minds daily, got him watching what's next. From the couch to the climb, yeah, the journey got weight. Turn pain into purpose, now we moving in faith. West Coast breeze, but the message stay deep. Plant seeds in the soul, now the whole world reap. Real talk, no gimmicks, just truth in the booth. Break chains off the mind, let it loose, let it loose. From the block to the pulpit, yeah, the vision aligned. Got a word for the people, transformation in time. We stewing up knowledge, let it simmer real slow. West Coast vibe with a spiritual flow. From the struggle to the strategy, now you know the name. James got the heat, put respect on the game. We rise, we grow, let the whole world see. Turn the thought to a move, now you walking free. It's the intellectual story, yeah, we changing the view. If you ready for better, this is made for you. Cruising down purpose lane, top down, no fear. Every word hit different when the vision stay clear. Mental health talk, yeah, we breaking the code. Heavy hearts get light when the truth get told. Single mom, strong kings, yeah, we all in the mix. Building minds up strong, that's a generation to fix. Not just talk, we walk, every lesson apply. From the pain in the past to the power inside. Now the stew stay hot, got the culture on flame. Every episode dropping, we igniting the game. If you stuck, get up, yeah, the path look better. Mind, body, soul, low, put it all together. We stewing up knowledge, let it simmer real slow. West Coast vibe with a spiritual flow. From the struggle to the strategy, now you know the name. James got the heat, put respect on the game. We rise, we grow, let the whole world see. Had a thought to a move, now you walking free. It's the intellectual stew, yeah, we changing the view. If you're ready for better, this is made for you. The world is changing. Why do you remain the same? Yeah. What's up, what it do? Time for another episode. Let's ride now. Slide through the city with the mindset clean. James on the mic, yeah, he cooking that dream. Intellectual stew, got the wisdom on deck. Feeding minds daily, got him watching what's next. From the couch to the climb, yeah, the journey got weight. Turn pain into purpose, now we moving in faith. West Coast breeze, but the message stay deep. Plant seeds in the soul, now the whole world reap. Real talk, no gimmicks, just truth in the booth. Break chains off the mind, let it loose, let it loose. From the block to the pulpit, yeah, the vision aligned.
All right. So, yeah, what I was trying to do is I had it answering as Bridging the Gap Ministries, but when I forwarded the phone number the other day, I did an actual forward because that's how it works. Once you sign up, you'll get an email. And once you get the email, you will receive instructions. And part of those instructions will be to forward your church's number to a specific number. And then once the agent recognizes what number is actually calling it, that's how it will answer the church. It was still saying test church because the other day I forwarded my cell phone number to it and I never took the forwarding off. But so if your church is Mount Harmony, if your church is Antioch, if your church is whatever, once you forward your phone number to the agent, then the agent will answer accordingly. And then once, but like I said, the powerful part of this, and my battery's about to die on my computer. Let me see if I can save it. Hold on. That was loud.
Transformation in time. We stewing up knowledge, let it simmer real slow. West Coast vibe with a spiritual flow. From the struggle to the strategy, now you know the name. James got the heat, put respect on the game. We rise, we grow, let the whole world see. Turn the thought to a move, now you walking free. It's the intellectual story, yeah, we changing the view. If you ready for better, this is made for you. Cruising down purpose lane, top down, no fear. Every word hit different when the vision stay clear. Mental health talk, yeah, we breaking the code. Heavy hearts get light when the
I had to get up and plug the computer up and realize my battery was about to die. But yeah, so that's Sister Clark. Now listen, if you have any questions, if you see the replay of this and you have any questions, reach out to me for a live demonstration. We can get you set up in as little as 24 hours. Really, it's that simple. Pay your money. Each level has a setup deposit, but once we receive a notification of your payment, you automatically get an email telling you how to onboard your church and what you need to do. You do not have to be technical. You don't have to have computer science degree or anything of the sort. I am the most non-technical person you would ever want to meet, but I've learned a few things, and I think I have something that will benefit churches, whether you're looking at the essential plan or the enterprise plan or the executive plan. All right. So reach out to me, 404-860-2775, if you have any questions, and I will gladly help you. Pay online, complete a 5-minute setup form, receive forward instructions instantly, forward your church phone number, and Sister Clark answers your very next call. No contracts. You can cancel anytime. Sister Clark is ministry that never sleeps. Now, I'm asking a lot of you all for help, as far as you all pastors and people I've known over the years. But I've also built something, because that's my technical mind, is I've also built something that will assist me. Let me show you what I built. I built a search agent that will literally allow me to find churches anywhere in the country. Watch this. Let's just say, I always say hometown, North Little Rock, Arkansas. And let's say I want to go with 72114. And I'm going to go within a 15-mile radius. And I only want 5 results. I'm going to target tier 2 churches. Yes, I want them to have a website. I don't care if they have staff or not. Find churches. So I'm going to hit the search button. I built this the other day because I know some people that I've been asking to recommend, they might not do it. And I can't have my success contingent on whether or not somebody else. It's not their responsibility. It's not nobody else's responsibility for your success or your failure. It's your 100% your responsibility. So they're still searching for churches. It's searching. It's going through Google Maps and all that kind of stuff with an API that I put in. Sometimes it take a little longer, but hey. Come on, sister. But what I'm trying to build here is a self-supporting system for Sister Clark. Okay. So this is what it did. It found 5 churches. It found 1 that it recommends for tier 2 and 4 that it recommends for tier 3. Acts Church, 8th Street Baptist Church, First Baptist Church. I know that church. Summit Church, and Full Council Christian Fellowship. So what I can do next is extract email. Actually, I hit extract all email, but if that don't work, I hit extract email, extract email. All right. Extract email. Now, since I know the pastor, I might need to reach out and call them. Extract email. All right, so all these have extract, except for this, and I haven't done this yet. A lot of these churches I was finding didn't have emails initially, but look, all these have emails. So, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go right here, Dr. Jamil. All of them right there. Okay, cool. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to outreach, and I want to find the churches in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And I only asked for 5. Now, of course, there's a whole bunch more churches. All right. So these churches have emails, right? What are the ones I saw earlier? North Little Rock, Arkansas. All right. So say I want to go to 8th Street. So I want to preview the email. So it's generating a preview so I can see the email before it goes out. Pastor and team at 8th Street Baptist Church. My name is James Kirkland. I'm reaching out because 8th Street Baptist Church caught my attention. Your reviews reflect a church that is genuinely loved by its community here in North Little Rock. That kind of reputation doesn't happen by accident. It comes with so all that you can read it. That's exactly why I wanted to introduce something I built called Sister Clark. She's an AI voice receptionist. I'd love to offer you a 15-minute call. But anyway, see that? I hit send this email. Send this email, and once it finishes sending, voila, email sent. Let's go and hit Dr. William Robinson while we're here. I'm going to send him an email. If they have an email, I can send them an email. Why not? Acts Church. So I can do this in any city. And I built this agent to be able to do that. And then I go here to the pipeline and I see how many churches I've sent out emails to. And it shows me the ones I've emailed here. And then eventually to show me which one's open, I drop it over here. And as they respond, I can just move them. Keep them moving around. And eventually I'll keep and convert them. And then this will show my outreach history here. So I go from found churches, put them in the pipeline, reach out to them, history. And we built this whole system to support Sister Clark. That's pretty much it. We have Sister Clark, the AI virtual 24/7 receptionist. And then I have Sister Clark, the outreach agent that goes out, scrapes websites of churches, gets their email address, and then serves as a support system to Sister Clark. So not only can I build a system like this for myself, whatever industry you're in, we can also build so what this does is it does smart prospecting, automatic contact discovery, AI personalized outreach, automated follow-up sequences, because once they respond, even if they don't respond, it's going to send out 3 or 4 emails sequential to get a response. And then it also has a built-in sales pipeline. So these are systems as a service, so it can help you in your insurance, financial services, real estate, local services, businesses, any type of business. We can help you automate and manage your clients better, nonprofits, business to business, whatever. Right now, there are roughly 380,000 churches in the U.S. alone. Capturing just 1% of that market, we'd be okay, or 0.1% of that market. And that's the goal we're reaching for, okay? So if you know anyone interested in having systems built, anyone interested in using the services of Sister Clark, please, ma'am, please, sir, feel free to reach out to me, and I will be happy to do a demonstration call and to answer any questions that you may have or any that may arise, okay? So I've enjoyed you. Listen, This is Sister Clark. I'm not going to be doing a lot of Sister Clark on this page, especially next week when I get to 100 followers. So, but tonight at 8 p.m. on the Intellectual Stew, we will be continuing our discussion about the divorce reset recovery system. This week we're going to talk about shame is a liar. We're going to talk about rebuilding after a public fall. It's probably not as bad as you make it out to be. Probably not. But 8 o'clock tonight, let somebody know that we're going to be on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. All right. It's been real. Remember, the world is changing. My question for you is why do you remain the same? That's really all I want to know.
Intellectual Stew. Oh, we're cooking something true.
Marriage for him is like making mashed potatoes.
Intellectual Stew. Real raw and relevant for you. With James Kirkland guiding through the deep, the light,
Let me ask you
the old, the new. Intellectual Stew. Yeah, we're stirring up the view.